So, good morning, everyone. Today, we are going to discuss Module 1 of Environmental Sciences for UGC NET, which forms the foundation of your entire syllabus. So, if your concept from this module are clear, it becomes much easier to understand advanced topic as well. So, as I received lots of queries that, ma'am, please upload notes of UGC NET Environmental Sciences. So, in this lecture, as well as I just brief out and I will upload in my description box, I will upload notes of Module 1. So, you can get the complete notes from my description box, notes in very detail. I just briefing out what we covered in my notes. So let us begin with the basic idea of environmental science. Environmental science is an interdisciplinary subject, which means it does not belong to just one field. It combines biology, chemistry, physics, geography, and even social sciences to understand how environment works and how human interact with it. So it is not only about nature but also about how human activities influence natural systems and how we can manage resources sustainably. So this is the जनरल आइडिया कि इन्वायरमेंट कैसे इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी है, क्या डेफिनेशन है, क्या इसका कोर ऑब्जेक्टिव है इन्वायरमेंटल साइंस का. सो आई जस्ट ब्रीफ आउट एंड आई विल अपलोड. यू कैन डाउनलोड from my chat box, from my description, the complete module 1 notes of MSc Environmental Sciences. And after module 1 we will discuss in one lecture, we will discuss the MCQs, and after that we will move forward to the next module, that is module 2. Until June I will try to finish. I will give you all module notes as well as give some explanation as well as MCQs lectures, right? So to get everything in very order in manner, you just subscribe my channel and like and share more and more so that a student can avail this facility. And the notes are totally free, you can get. And I am ensuring you that you will get lots of questions from my notes in your UGC NET exam. So in very short, when we talk about the principles, like in this slide you can see that the core principle of environmental sciences. So when we talk about principles of environmental science, the most important concept is interdependence. Every component of environment is connected to each other. For example, plant depend on sunlight, animal depend on plants, human depend on both. So if one component is disturbed, the entire system get affected. So another key principle is the flow of energy. Energy always flow in one direction, unidirectional, right? So maybe the one question arises, like what is the flow of energy in our environment? So it should be unidirectional, starting from sun to producer, then to consumer, and then to decompose, finally to decomposers. So during this transfer, certain amount of energy, some energy is always lost as heat, which explains why food chain are short. Right, now let us move to the earth system. Uh, the environment is broadly divided into four major spheres: atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere. Actually, module 1 of UGC NET Environmental Sciences is general introduction to the environment, is covered in first module. So, I am quickly covering all the topic and you will get everything in my complete notes. So now let us move to the earth system. The environment is broadly divided into four major spheres: atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere. So the atmosphere is the layer of gases surrounding the earth and is responsible for weather and climate. The hydrosphere includes all the forms of water such as ocean, rivers, and groundwater. The lithosphere refers to the land surface, including soil and rocks, while the biosphere represents all living organisms. So, the biosphere actually depends on the interaction of other three spheres, making it most complex system. So, next we come to thermodynamics. So, this is the structure of the atmosphere. And the next topic is laws of thermodynamics in ecosystem. Next, we come to thermodynamics, which is very important from an exam perspective. The first law of thermodynamics states that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can easily change from one form to another form. For example, sunlight is converted into chemical energy by plants during photosynthesis. The second law tells us that energy transformations are not 100% efficient, and some amount of energy is always lost in form of heat. This is why ecosystem cannot support infinite trophic level, right? This is only because certain amount of energy is lost at every step in our ecosystem. So that's why the food chain is short and infinite trophic level, right? So this is the concept of heat transfer and mass transfer. Transfer through direct contact, primary in solids and soil, and the mass transfer is movement of substance from high to low concentration. In this slide, you can see that let us now understand some basic meteorological concept. Weather and climate are controlled by parameters like temperature, pressure, humidity, and wind. And when air arises, it expands and cools, which is known as lapse rate, right? So this cooling leads to cloud formation and eventually precipitation. Understanding these processes is very important because they are directly linked to environmental issues like climate change and extreme weather events. Right. Another important topic is remote sensing and GIS. So, remote sensing is technique through which we collect information about the Earth's surface without direct contact, usually with the help of satellite. GIS or Geographic Information System, that is GIS, is used to store, analyze, and visualize spatial data. Together, these tools are very powerful in studying land use changes, forest cover, urban expansion, and environmental degradation, for example. So, we can monitor deforestation or track the growth of cities using satellite images, right? Finally, let us talk about environmental biogeography and in India's agroclimatic zone. So you can see here the um, geographical bioregimes. So Nearctic, Neotropical, Palearctic, Afrotropical. In my one, when you search in my videos, I discussed in very detail about these biogeographical regions: Oriental, Australian, Antarctic, and agroclimatic zones. Here you can see the Western Himalayan, Gangetic Plains, Central Plateau, and Island region. I discussed in my notes in very detail. So this is about the concept of sustainability, remote sensing, and GIS I covered in my notes. Now let us finally talk about environmental ethics. This concept helps us to understand our moral responsibility towards nature. So some approaches consider humans as the most important anthropocentric, while other give equal importance to all living beings, biocentric, or entire ecosystem ecocentric. In today's world, it is important to move towards sustainable development where we meet our present with needs without compromising the needs of future generation. So overall, module 1 is about understanding the basics of how environment works, how energy flows, how different systems interact, and how humans can live in harmony with nature. So if you focus on these concepts and revise them regularly, you will be able to solve most of the questions from this module, especially in UGC NET exam. So now if you have any doubt or difficulty, you just message me in comment box, and on regular basis you have to subscribe my channel, like and share more and more, so that student like you can get more information and all the lectures. So you have to find, at this point you have to find my module 1 notes in very detail. And if you want anything else, you just write down in my comment box so that I will connect with you guys. Thank you so much.